You're watching Beyond 100 Days with Nifemi Oguntoye. Welcome to the program, everyone. Let's begin with some updates in the fight against corruption. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has now declared wanted the former governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, in connection with the alleged case of money laundering to the tune of 80 billion naira. The former governor was absent from court today in the alleged money laundering charge against him. AFCC says the service of the charge on him was frustrated yesterday at his residence, adding that the former governor is being protected by a person who enjoys immunity. Reacting to that development, the Attorney General of the Federation says anyone who's been invited by the AFCC is urged to put away any obstruction and answer their invitation. Lateef Fagbemi noted that a situation where public officials who are subject to protection by law enforcement agents set up a scheme of obstruction to the civil and commendable efforts of the AFCC to perform its duty is worrisome. We'll follow that story closely and we'll bring you more updates subsequently. Now to the National Executive Council meeting of the People's Democratic Party, which held at the party secretariat in Abuja today. Acting chairman of the PDP, Umaru Damagum, while addressing the council, said the last general election brought lots of challenges the party must address. He said the last election was accepted by the party despite the difficulties PDP encountered during the litigation processes. He adds that a reconciliation committee needs to be set up to reconstitute, especially to those who were aggrieved at the last election. So Damango said preparation is ongoing to ensure PDP's victory in the upcoming Edo and Ondo elections. In attendance, a former presidential candidate of the party, Atiku Abubakar, FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, and governors under the umbrella of the party, as well as former governors and national executives of the PDP.
We must also understand that Nigerians are in love with our party, and they see this party as their common hope. They are anxiously looking up to us to bring succor and relief. It is expected that the decision and outcome of today's NEC meeting will strengthen our party, bring answers to the many questions in the heart of our members, brighten our future, and further reposition us for the challenges that is ahead of us.
Demola Lawrence just returned from the secretariat of the People's Democratic Party. He joins me live from our Abuja studio. Demola, is it clear how PDP intends to resolve the sharp divisions within its ranks following the last presidential election? What concrete steps are being taken at the NEC meeting?
Yeah, so before the NEC meeting, there were a series of meetings, of course, that led to that particular NEC meeting, one of which is a National Caucus meeting that happened yesterday night, and the BOT meeting, of course, early this morning by 10 a.m., and a couple of decisions were taken before the NEC meeting. But after the NEC meeting, it was resolved totally that a reconciliatory and a disciplinary committee set up to look at all the aggrieved members and all the issues that have happened in the party since the 2023 general elections after the party had lost to the All Progressive Congress. So a whole lot of issues that the party is actually looking at the crisis in Rivers State with the FCT minister, the former governor there, and the incumbent, Fubara, and of course with the division within the party for and against for the acting national chairman. But after the NEC meeting today, it was put to bear, by extending, the national chairman stay till August, where they will have another Congress after the local, state, and ward Congress. That, of course, would happen between June and August. And by September, when they will go, by August 15, they will decide that by September, they will go to another NEC meeting that, of course, give them another level of leadership that will palliate the affairs of the party.
It's the second day we're seeing Nyesom Wike and Abubakar Atiku together at a meeting. Did you witness any interaction or confrontation between them?
No, of course, there was no interaction. Even since yesterday, when the two of them were together at the National Caucus meeting. In between them yesterday was, of course, the former vice president. But today they came differently. Of course, yesterday they also came differently. Today they also came differently. They came into the meeting. I think the most important thing for PDP as at this time is not to look at the rankles in between the two big factions that you may say, insinuations that are going around. They just want to focus for them, and that is what they want to do. They just want to focus on their party, re-strategize, as elections in Ondo are also coming up. And of course, towards the 2027 elections. So they are not looking at the bigger picture. They are not looking at the picture. Don't let me say the bigger picture. They are not looking at the picture of whether who is to be. They just want to focus according to them. They don't want distractions. There are people, according to them, they are most in the party who want the party to destroy. So they want to just focus on what the party is all about, the foundation of the party for them that has been destroyed. Everybody should put their differences aside and work for the party. That is what they are all about, and that is what they try to treat today. But for majority of journalists that were there, they were thinking the issue of the leadership tussle will actually be settled today. But of course, the PDP were able to shy away from that particular issue to a large extent.
Very interesting development. It's been widely rumored that the FCT minister was going to be suspended. But it seems he was well welcomed by colleagues at the PDP. We'll see how it all plays out, in the coming days. Demola Lawrence live for us in Abuja. Away from that, we'll turn into the APC governorship primary in Ondo State scheduled for this Saturday. I'll be back with one of the aspirants who's raised some petition about the conduct of the party. Stay with us, everyone. Now, 7 out of 16 governorship aspirants have petitioned the National Secretariat of the party, the APC, complaining about anomalies observed ahead of the primary. The aspirants faulted the revalidation of the membership register to be used for the primary election slated for this Saturday. They allege that a particular aspirant has gone ahead with massive printing of fake party slips, which they claim he has distributed to lots of persons who are not even members of the party. They ask the leadership of the party to make available membership register already validly certified by the Independent National Electoral Commission as the only lawful register to be used by the party for this election. One of the aggrieved aspirants is former president of the Nigerian Medical Association, who was also special advisor to the former governor on health matters, Professor Dayo Faduile. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here with you today.
So you and some 6 other aspirants have petitioned the National Secretariat of your party over revalidation of the membership register. What is this about?
Well, thank you very much. In the process of going to the poll, it is expected that we will have a very good register, that we list all the names of those who are entitled to vote. And the party, in its own wise decision, decided that we should have a revalidation of the register that we have. A committee was set up to come and do that, and to the surprise of almost every aspirant here, the days that they were supposed to be here, none of them were seen until a day before they are supposed to leave. They called for a meeting, and they told us that they ought to do revalidation. Unfortunately, this has to be taken to take place at the different levels in the ward and the local government. None of them were seen actively, and many of our members are surprised. To our surprise, too, we found out that some lists are being circulated as those that can vote, and we found it very, very surprising. So we decided that for us to have a free, fair election, an election that we are sure that will be acceptable, the register is a sine qua non for us to have very free election.
All right.
And it is on this basis.
Yes. Let me jump in quickly. This revalidation, does it require the registration of new members?
Sincerely, it has nothing to do with registration of new members. It is to look at those who have registered, and what they are doing by this revalidation is to check those who have paid up to date. Whereas it is expected that every member of the party is to pay some sum at every month, but this has not been very actively done by the members of the party. But because of this election, they have decided they want to look at that. As good as it will be, members, some of us who are contesting have decided to pay for all members. And we felt that all those lists that we have cherry picking of members should stop. And we should have a list that encompasses all members of the party.
Correct.
And it is important also to have that list validated by INEC, because all our registers before any Congress must be with INEC at least 6 months before the Congress.
So it's less than 2 days to the primary election. Do you and the other aspirants have access to the certified membership registered by INEC for this election?
As it is now, I have not received anyone, and I'm sure that some of us that I have interacted with in a short while, many of us have not seen, although they have told us that they are going to make them available for us, but we are yet to see it, and it's making us to have some palpitation that, look, how do you want to do an election and you don't know the total number of people who are to vote at that election?
By the way, there are 16 aspirants for this contest. How come only 7 of you are complaining about this? Are you concerned the number is in the minority?
Well, if you say it's minority, what is right, what is wrong is wrong. It does not mean that you have a large number for you to complain something that is not right. And in this respect, every election, you must have a good register. It doesn't matter the total number of people who signed that petition.
Is this concern connected to the arrest made by the police yesterday of an individual registering APC members in his house?
Well, we have also heard about some of our aspirants who have gone ahead to do mass production of the cards or the paper, and a petition has been written days before that discovery was made. But we are aware that we have some who have done that in a large number. And what they are trying to do is that they want to overwhelm the returning officers on that day so that they will jettison the use of the register so that they can say, let all people who have the card to vote. And we say, look, we have to be careful because we have a lot of counterfeiting, a lot of cards that have been distributed here and there. And what we have insisted is that anybody who wants to vote must be accredited. And it is after accreditation that you can actually do the voting for the different aspirants.
6 aspirants have alleged that a particular aspirant has gone ahead with massive printing of fake party slips or what have you, which you claim has been distributed to persons who are not even members of your party. This is huge allegation. How is the party responding?
Well, we are yet to have a definite response from the party. We are believing that the leadership of the party is taking decisive action on it, and we have resolute confidence that something will be done to nail all those who will want to pollute the democratic process of choosing the flag bearer of our party.
If in the capacity of your party to conduct a free and fair exercise?
Yes, I believe that we can conduct a free and fair exercise, bearing all difficulties that we may encounter in the process.
But you mentioned you haven't heard from them yet.
Well, we still have about 24 hours. We believe that something is being done. We should not be oblivious of the fact that there have been some major disorganization at the leadership of the party, with the suspension, counter suspension of our national chairman, and certainly it will affect the smooth running of the process or of the administration of the party. So I have absolute confidence that the party leadership will do justice to it. We have some papers that have been distributed where some of us are querying how we have had this uneven number of voters allocated to different local governments. But we are hoping to have the full register before we can now come out to state our position on it, because there are some things that you just feel that you just believe and you know by statistics that it cannot just happen. For example, the total number of APC members in the entire Akure North and South is less than the total number of APC in a particular local government.
So we spoke some 2 months ago, and you were quite optimistic and confident in your ability to win this primary election on this program. It's about less than 48 hours now to the exercise. What's that optimism like now that you know it's a direct primary election?
Well, I want to say that everybody who goes into election must be prepared. I have gone around the 18 local governments, I have discussed, I have consulted all the leadership of the party, and the reception has been great. We have a lot of questions that have been answered, and I have showcased myself to the people, and I'm very positive that the people will be departing from what we used to do, where we look towards the pockets of whoever wants to lead you. Now we want to have a revolutionized Ondo state. We want to have an Ondo state that it will be technologically driven, and these are things that we are pushing to the people, and the acceptance has been great. And we are very hopeful, barring any unforeseen circumstances or manipulation that will come up top.
I'm actually asking that, are you comfortable with the choice of the direct primary?
Yes, I think direct primary is about the fairness as it is, where all members of the party will be given the opportunity to choose who will be their flag bearer, and I'm comfortable with it.
So we've seen you gone round. We've also seen other aspirants, including the governor, campaign aggressively across the length and breadth of the state. But are you bothered about the kind of crowds that gather around the incumbent during these events?
Well, thank you. They say one adage in Yoruba land that it's not the number of teeth that you have that matters, but how strong one or two that you have that can grind the hardest bone. I am not disturbed by the number of people that accompany Mr. Governor in his campaign or any other aspirant. What we want is members of the party who are card-carrying members. I can tell you, when you have a long convoy of vehicles, you have a lot of people who are not members of the party who will want to go there. When you have a place that they are beating drums and they are singing, you have all sorts of people coming around. And since he's also the incumbent governor, where he has a lot of officials around him, many of the officials who may not be a member of the party will be with him too. And all this one we tend to actually make that place to have more people. But who are those people who are important in a primary election? They are members of our party. We are discussing with them. We are having good contact with them, and we are having relationship with them.
Prof, are you suggesting that the crowd behind the governor that we see on TV, many of them may not be members of the APC in Ondo State?
Certainly, I can attest to that. So among the crowd, you have a lot of people who are not in APC. And again, you cannot use crowd to determine the outcome of an election. You have seen a lot of elections.
I thought election is about number, because on Saturday it will be the person who becomes the candidate of your party will be the person with the highest number of votes. Votes come from the people.
Yes, we
People
are
from the
talking of those
crowd.
who can vote. We are talking of those who can vote and not those people who are there. When we are doing the election, they are the voters that are the important group of people that we are looking at. I have them. You see my own people. They are neatly selected. These are leaders of the party. These are party members. We do not do any fanfare. We do our own in a way that it is modest, and we talk to the people. We are not doing campaign of dancing on the table or dancing on the floor. We are doing campaign of telling people what they want, how we want to do it, and how to go about it.
Talking about campaign and the strategy behind it. There are 16 aspirants, right? And perhaps that you will stand more chance, like any other aspirant, if we start seeing people step down for one another. Is that a conversation you have been having? Is that something you're open to?
Well, they say one adage in Yoruba again, they said that when you are going to war, you think of two ways. Either you succeed or you die in the process of the war. So when you are going for any action, you always think of the two sides. One person amongst the 16 is only one person that can be the governor. So we look at how the things are. But I'm very confident. A person who is confident is a person who will believe that he's not going to step down. So I'm confident. While we are discussing, if we have reasons that maybe leaders of the party are calling people, talking to people, letting people to see beyond what we are seeing, well, maybe we can have some consideration.
Let me give more context to my question, because many of the people on the ballot are former allies or are allies of the former governor who broke away from the incumbent governor. So, the conversation will be that if the Akiti camp is going to have any impact in this election, they should all come together and decide who they want to support, instead of splitting the votes amongst 15 people.
Well, I wish to be educated by you, and I know you will not be able to give me the concise response, because I want to know those who are the allies of the former governor. I work with the former governor as special advisor on health, but those of us who are contesting, we have in the cabinet, we have 3 of us that are actively contesting. We have those who have contested against him at the primary level before, and we have those who are just coming newly. So we cannot be totally, unless you educate me, totally say that this and these numbers are former allies. But importantly, we are of the same political party, and all of us are expected to work together as a political party. So we are 1 tree with different branches. And now when we want to choose the next person, the different branches will come and say, look, I think I'm better in this regard than the other.
Thank you so much. Professor Dayo Faduile is a former NMA president who was also special advisor to former Governor Rotimi Akeredolu. We're hoping to see how it plays out on Saturday, and we'll wish you all the best, Prof. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure. I will come back to do the...
I'll be waiting for that post-primary interview with you as well. That's our program today, everyone. You can watch it again at midnight and at 6 a.m. tomorrow. I am Nifemi Okuntoye.